No matter how much we try to protect children and other minors from the harsh realities of life, sometimes that's not always possible. Nowhere is this more obvious than if a child is a witness to a crime. Hi, I'm Jack Razmich with Razmich & Associates, and today we are going to talk about what happens when children are witnesses to crimes. In 2020, an 8-year-old Indiana boy was the central witness to a murder when he allegedly witnessed his father killing his mother in their family home. The child told a school counselor that he had seen his father stomp on his mother's head 20 times as she lay on the basement floor. A few days later, the boy's father, Judson Hoover, confessed to the murder of his wife, Rebecca Hoover. When police recovered her body, they found that she had suffered blunt force trauma wounds consistent with their son's account. The tragedy of a violent crime is amplified when a child is a witness. The child must not only suffer the initial trauma of seeing a crime occur, but they must relive that incident in their minds if it's required for them to testify at a subsequent criminal proceeding. In the Hoover case, the 8-year-old will not have to testify in court because his father confessed to the murder and has since been convicted and is currently serving his sentence as prescribed by law. But what happens in most cases when minors are witnesses to crimes? Well, here are two things that we can take a look at to illustrate that for you. First, let's take a look at child testimony generally. Although it's traumatic for children to testify in court about the crime they witness, it is sometimes essential. The Sixth Amendment to the United States Constitution assures defendants the right to confront their accusers, even if that accuser is in fact a child. Moreover, if the child is the sole witness to the crime, the case may hinge upon that child's testimony. Nevertheless, children aren't always considered to be competent witnesses. Some children don't have the verbal skills to accurately explain what they observed. Others might not have the cognitive ability to distinguish between truth or lies, or could be greatly susceptible to another person's influence or bias. For this reason, judges decide on a case-by-case basis whether to order the child's testimony after evaluating a child's competence. In determining whether a child has the necessary competence to testify, the court examines a range of factors, including the child's ability to recall events accurately, communicate clearly, tell the difference between truth and lies, understand the importance of testifying truthfully. If the court determines the child is competent and mature enough for their age, the court may order the child to testify. Now that we've briefly touched on the subject of child testimony generally, let's talk about Indiana's protected person statute. Even if a child must testify in court, Indiana, like most states, we have specific laws to help protect children from suffering undue trauma from the process, particularly if the child himself is the victim of a crime. Indiana Code Section 353746, also known as the Protected Person Statute, establishes a set of conditions under which evidence that is not otherwise admissible can be allowed in cases involving certain crimes against protected persons. For example, if a child under the age of 14 qualifies for a protected person status, they may testify via videotape or through a closed-circuit television in a separate room to help minimize the emotional distress. Another Indiana law, Indiana Code 313414, allows children under the age of 14 to testify by closed-circuit television when a psychiatrist, physician, or psychologist has certified that the child's testifying in the courtroom can create a substantial likelihood of emotional or mental harm to that child, and a physician has determined the child cannot be present in the courtroom for those medical reasons. If your child is a witness to a crime and may have to testify at trial, it is essential that you speak with an attorney as soon as possible. While the prosecutor's office will represent the interest of a child witness generally, they may not be able to provide specific answers like a private attorney can. Just because we're defense attorneys and would normally defend people accused of crimes does not mean that we're not capable of answering your questions. So if you or if your child or a child that you were aware of that you were close to is going to be required to testify at trial, please consider giving our office a call at 317-983-5333 for a free case evaluation. That case evaluation is free. It always will be. So there's no risk to you picking up the telephone and getting these questions answered for you. That telephone number again is 317-983-5333, and we look forward to the opportunity to speak with you. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. If you really, really like this video, please consider sharing it on the social media platform of your choice. Here at Razmich & Associates, we are lawyers ready to fight. The more eyes that we are in front of, the more people we're fighting for. The more people we're fighting for, the freer we all become. If you have a question or concern or a topic that you would like for us to cover in a future video, please consider dropping it down in the comment section. We do review those. We do respond to them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.